Good morning, everyone. It's June.
Good morning.
Imagine that.
Already.
I was just telling someone this morning that I still have a few little Christmas candles that I haven't yet signed. I said to myself, hey, it's June. Hey, what are you thinking? First of all, I do want to admit, or I want to acknowledge that yesterday we had a beautiful ministerial graduation in our facility here. Dr. Marilyn's class that has been moving along for several years now, extended for one reason or another, finally had their graduation yesterday, and it was fabulous. Linda Damasek, I want to thank her because she's a new graduate, but she spoke for me last Sunday when I was up in Oxanita playing, and they call it glamping. So I was in a cabin. But, so Linda replaced me last Sunday, and I know she did a fabulous job. So I wanted to thank her for that. And I also wanted to let you know that the Sunday previous to that, I had made a public vow that I was going to stop talking about it, that I had been and having it on my to-do list for 2 or 3 months. I actually cleaned my closet.
Wow.
Actually, I cleaned 2 closets. 3.5 hours later, I took pictures.
Before and after.
I'll show them, well, after, basically, because there's a big pile, and the pile is still there.
Start?
I decided that I was going to look and see if there's some that I can move along. I thanked them. There were 2 outfits, literally, that I've had for almost 40 years. I kid you not. And you would recognize them. I have worn them. But my daughter was helping me make these decisions, stay or go, and she's not that much. So I lovingly thank them for supporting me all these years, and so they're going to get moved on to another realm. And so what I wanted to reiterate, and the reason I'm even bringing this up, is that this is a demonstration. Okay? I want to wrap this demonstration up by reminding you that it's easy to talk the talk. It's not so easy to walk the walk. So commend yourself if you've had it on your to-do list, whatever it is, for a while, and you keep telling yourself, oh man, yeah, I gotta get to that, I gotta get to that. You know what it is, you all have them, I imagine. Step a foot into it and just start it. And it's so funny, you know, like when I was telling you that I was gonna clean out my closet, and my mentor said, put everything on the bed. Everything on the bed. And I thought, oh my God, that would reach the ceiling. I need a ladder to get up there. So I said, I'm just going to do half of the closet. Well, then I'm one of these people that, once you start on something, you can't stop.
Yeah.
You ever have those kind of things where, and so I didn't. I just went for it, So it feels good to step back and say, oh my gosh, I got that done. And honestly, that's what this life is about. It's about doing those things that our inner voice is prompting us to do. That's why we have these bodies, is to do them. Not just talk about them, not just think about them, not to write them down on the list, to do them. I wanted to share with you that today, this whole month actually, we are playing with the wisdom. And this is a beautiful picture of Jesus the Christ. I just love this. And this book was written by Paul Ferrini. How many of you have read any of Paul Ferrini's books? I hadn't either. This was gifted to me by a friend. It's called I Am the Door. And I'm looking in the back of the book. They tell you how many books this person's written. He's written tons of books, like all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to have to check him out a little bit further. So this is the book that we're looking at this month. And in particular today, I chose the title of The Kingdom of Heaven, and it is one of the chapters in this book. And I think that many of us want to live in the kingdom, and many of us have been raised with that notion that, oh yes, someday I'll get to go to heaven. When I leave this earthly plane, I'll get to go to heaven. And there are many people that still believe that, and many of us are raised with that. But what we're going to be playing with today is more of the idea that that heaven is not so far away as our beautiful song was that was just given to us. It's not so far away. That the heaven is right here, right within us. We don't have to go anywhere. And that kingdom is infinite. It's everywhere present. Not just inside me, not just inside you, not just inside her. It's everywhere, within and without. There's no place where we can be that it is not. I guess I'm correlating and using the word heaven with God, love, divine energy, all of that. It's all one and the same. Oh my gosh, it's all one. That's another concept. There is something one expressing itself as one. So we are here to play in the kingdom. How many of you like to play?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are here to play the game of life the way that we want to play it. Can you imagine that? Think about how open we are to anything. The only thing that stops us is what? Our own thoughts, our own selves. Because we are infinite in our nature. Now, we have to know that. We have to be aware of that. We have to accept that. Because we can cut ourselves off just as easily by thinking, oh no, that's not for me. No, I won't accept that. I was reading my daily guidepost yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I wanted to share with you the reading from it because I thought that it was so pertinent to this idea that we can be right in the midst of all of this glory, all of this wonder, all of this heaven, and not know it. It starts out by saying, a quote from Deuteronomy, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." Saturday afternoons at the local pool are a particular kind of crazy. Every neighborhood kid over 13 is here alone, being cool at the snack bar and diving off the high board. Young families abound, burning the hours between nap time and dinner. Often I brave the bedlam by myself with the kids. Brian coming to meet you later. That means I've got a little guy, only 6 months old, who needs me to hold him and hates to be splashed, and a 2-year-old who moves too quickly. She often produces her own weight. It doesn't take long for Olivia to get a decent distance from me, and thanks to her swimmies, I don't worry. As long as I can see her, I know she's okay. But Olivia doesn't know that. One afternoon it hit her that I wasn't right beside her anymore. From that vantage point, all torsos close, she was completely surrounded and yet all alone. I could see the panic spreading across her face as she grew more tearful and fearful by the minute. Though I was just a few feet away to Olivia, I might as well have packed my bags and headed home. I called out to her, but in her fear, she couldn't hear me. "I'm here, just look at me, find my face," I called as I moved towards her. But I know something Olivia doesn't. I can see the bigger picture. I know her mommy is there, that she is safe, that her swimmies are keeping her afloat, and that she's about 4 feet from a lifeguard. All Olivia knows is that she is alone, scared, and lost. How often do I find myself lost, alone, and adrift? How often is God just inches away whispering, "I'm here. Just look at me. Find my face." And it ends with, "Lord, help me always to see your face." We are here in this midst of love. And we want to open our eyes to see it, to experience it, to have that love boost us up. Now, that love at times needs to leave us alone in order for us to find our way. You know, it doesn't meddle. It doesn't get in and say, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. It steps back and it's there, but it knows, just as a child, that we have things in our lives that we need to do on our own. We need to find the gumption. We need to find the strength within us to do what needs to be done by us. And the tendency, this human tendency, is to become fearful, to become frightened, to become worried, to become concerned, because I've not done this before. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it right. You know, am I gonna get caught up in some mess or something? And so we have this temptation to not trust ourselves, to not trust that this God self within us will guide us. And so we are talking this morning about being teachable, about being available, knowing that maybe I personally, my physical brain doesn't know everything, but there is something within me that does. Let me trust it. The Christ said you need to become as children in order to enter the kingdom.
I don't think he was talking about the frightened child.
I think he was talking about the child that is quizzitive, that is open, that is pliable, that is teachable. And so what we want to do is work on our relationship, literally, with that God self that is within us. It's not going to break down the walls to get to us. It's here. It hasn't gone anywhere. We are the ones that need to make the first step to say, you know, God, I really like to know what's up for me today. I want my will to be your will. I've been working with myself, playing with this idea of getting a closer association with my higher self. And that means love. How can I get a better indwelling recognition and acceptance that I am loved? And so I've had this last week or so. I've been envisioning that these beautiful gossamer wings, white gossamer wings, are they're at my back and they just come around me. They just enfold me. And I went, ooh, yes. And so that love in my heart says, yes, thank you. Thank you for loving me. And I want to love you right back. So we're growing this concept that I am loved and I am loved. And that love is everywhere, in everyone. And when I can open my eyes to see that love in the other person, what happens? It's brought out. It's recognized. It responds. It comes out and it wants to play. So we want love to come out and play today. We want it to multiply. We want it to get better and better and better and better. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
I think so. I wanted to read a part of the thought for the week that I had put in here, and actually it came from the book. I didn't really give it credit in my thought for the week. I probably should have, but I wanted to reiterate it right now. It says, all judgment of self and others must go. This is when we are entering the kingdom of heaven, okay? All judgment of self and others must go. Come to God empty, with open arms. The door to the divine presence opens through your heart. Surrender everything you know and come to each moment empty of expectations. That's not the easiest thing to do. Connect with the divine presence by opening your heart. Be gentle with yourself and others. Cultivate your relationship with God directly. Enter into the silence of your own heart. Talk to God, pray, and ask for guidance. Then act with fortitude and faith upon that guidance. I want us to know that this earthly plane experience that we're having, it has contrasts. It has night and day. It has, light and dark. It has all of those ups and downs of life. And I know that part of life is having these experiences of the dark day of the soul. We're not going to get away from it. We're not going to avoid them. They will be there. But what we want to recognize is that this too is a part of life. And this too, there is something here that is coming to my attention. Nose is running. There's something that's coming to my attention here that's wanting to be birthed. Look for the expectation of what is the gift in this experience that I wouldn't necessarily have chosen for myself. But it's there to give you some gift to show you the strength that you have within you that perhaps you hadn't yet even discovered. Paul Ferrini puts it this way: when there is nothing about yourself or anyone else that you are afraid to look at. Remember, how many times has something happened and you're afraid to look at it? When there is nothing about yourself or anyone else that you are afraid to look at, the darkness has no more hold over you. Then you can walk through the darkness and be the light. To be the light, you must embrace the darkness, your darkness and everyone's darkness. You must come to terms with the ego mind and see its absolute futility. You must learn to look at fear with love in your heart. Wow, what a nice response to fear is that. Just love it. Bring your gossamer wings around that fear. As you bring love to the wounded parts of your mind, you take back your power. That's a very, very good clue. A very good thing to work on, an exercise to feed yourself on. And it's interesting. This last week I had a situation come up where I got upset. Can you imagine that? And initially, my initial gut ego response was to spew out some words, and thank goodness I stopped and I listened and I heard the message from my internal self saying, don't go there, zip it. You're having a knee-jerk reaction. You don't need to do that, because when you spew those words, you can't take them back. Just hold steady, hold still. And then I had this other thought in my mind, or I can do this. And then the wisdom said, no, don't do that either. Be quiet. And then, within maybe 5 minutes, I had another thought. And I thought, oh, I could do this. Okay. I followed that path. This was the path that the higher self, I honestly believe, gave me. Because my first initial ego mind was going a different direction. I'm so glad it told me just to be quiet. And that I followed that direction. Because then I was able to, well, what is it that I really should do? I got that notion, I got that inkling, I go, oh, that makes sense, okay. And sure enough, I will tell you, I followed that instruction, and I couldn't be happier, could not be happier with the outcome, with the results. God, love, is always whispering to us. They don't call it a still small voice for no reason. We need to attune ourselves to be receptive to it. And it takes diligence, it takes discipline, it takes practice. We had these beautiful musicians here today. You know, they don't just come out and do this just at the drop of a hat. They practice and practice and practice. And I know part of that is because they love to do it. You know, I understand that. And that's for all of us. What do we love to do? Well, it would behoove us to love, to connect with our higher self. Practice connecting with that higher self and see what happens. I was talking to someone this morning and said, you know what? I don't know what it is, but I'm just in so much joy today. I said, well, yeah, that's the way life is. Isn't that true? Joy is our nature, our divine nature. That's the way we're supposed to be. Yes, we do have times of fear and doubt, but don't let them take you over. Recognize it, accept it. Like I said, if there's a darkness, if there's a fear, recognize it and say, okay, what am I going to do with it? Where am I going to move from here? Yesterday, I think I mentioned to you, we had this beautiful event that happened. And after the event was still, people were mingling and so forth. And I had my calendar ready for the June calendar. I prepared that calendar, and I was back at the copy machine, and I was ready to run off the copies for everybody. And I saw the message light was blinking on the phone. And I thought, I don't know, it's so noisy in here, I'm not sure if I can hear that. I'll just do this. But my inner voice said, no, listen to the message. Oh, okay. So I pushed the button, listened to the message, and it was Cheryl, the gal that has been running our Al-Anon meetings here for, I don't know how long, a year, 2 years, how long they've been here. And she was saying that May 31st was the last meeting that they were going to have here, that they were going to move on to another facility. And that she thanked us for everything that we had done, and but that there was another facility that the group voted. Evidently, most of the group was from another church, and they wanted to be, in their space. And I totally understand that. That's fine. But what it gave me was, I guess I need to remove the Al-Anon meetings then off of this calendar that I had just been ready to run off everything. And so I wanted to share with you, and so I did. I got home and I, took it off, and you have in your program today the updated calendar without the Al-Anon meeting. And initially I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and it's change. It's transition. There's something new that's going to happen. And what came up for me was, I would love to have a Toastmasters group here. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm planting that little seed in somebody's head around here. If you want to do Toastmasters, we have this beautiful facility, beautiful space, and I know that there's lots of different wonderful energies that can come to us through this being available for newness. So we want to be flexible, and we want to know that Spirit is working through us no matter what it looks like. At the event yesterday, it was really pretty cool because there was a minister from the Unity Church in El Cajon here, and one of his congregants was with him. And I talked to them afterward, and the congregant knew my mother-in-law, Pauline Beauregard, who started this church 30 years ago. And so we talked about that. And then I mentioned to them, I said, and by the way, put on your calendar that this is our 30th year. And so we're going to have a celebration. And I told them the date, November 10th, put it on the calendar. We're going to formulate how it's going to look and everything right now. And it was to make sure that you let us know because we want to attend that. We want to be able to celebrate with you. They also were saying how that their facility in El Cajon next year is going to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And it was started by Reverend Hammonds. And of course, right after that, he said, of course, Reverend Hammond started it when he was 14. We talked about what a hoot he is. Now we had fun at our chili cook-off and so forth and so on. So, it's just, life happens and things change and we are evolving. And so let newness happen. We have a new person, Kathy, is here to have children's church. We haven't had someone to step forward and say, I will be the leader of a children's church, and I don't know when. And it's happened. It's happening. So put that message out to the community that we have someone who is skilled in our Science of Mind classes, and you can start with the little ones on up, it doesn't matter, And that we're looking to bring these children into the fold, to let them know these truths as they're little tots, you know? And so I'm just so amazed and pleased and knowing that this church is an organic, living mechanism that is love in expression. And it's going to change. It's going to move. It's going to be. So I'm trusting that everybody is with me in this transformational time. Let's look at the good. Let's look at what more we can do with the good works that we know we are. You know? And let more folks in this community be aware of us. To be aware of what is in them. So that they can increase all the love, all the joy, all the peace, all the wonder that they are. Let's get to know them. So I'm asking you this week to stop, to ask, to listen, and then the big one, to follow through with whatever this divine spirit is giving you. I want you to accept that you are, right now, living in the kingdom of heaven. Right now. Even if it doesn't look fun, doesn't look happy, look at it, see it for what it is, and know that it is here to support you. Know that this too shall pass, perhaps, if nothing else. I wanted to end with a quote from the book. Oh, I forgot to give you this. Wait a minute, no, I'm not ending yet. I want to share this with you. Sorry. I have another book here that I've been reading, and it was so perfect for today. I have to share this. This is from Eileen Cady. It says, "Why not make a habit of approaching life in the right spirit, joyously, expectantly, and with absolute faith that only the very best is for you? I want you to have all the very best in life. I do not want you to go through life with a heavy weight on your shoulders, bowed down by the cares of the world. I need you free so that I can work in and through you." You know who's speaking here. The I am. "Stop being a worrier and cast all your cares and burdens upon me. Know that the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is there waiting for you to recognize it. You must know it, believe it, and then bring it about. The kingdom of heaven is a state of mind, and it is for everyone to seek and find. Every soul has to long for it before they can find the kingdom of heaven. The desire must be there and must be so strong that nothing will be allowed to stand in its way." Have that desire so strong in you that you want to know, you want to feel, you want to experience, you want to express this beautiful divine love that you are in your perfect, unique way. Now I want to share with you what came from the book, I Am the Door. When does heaven come? When this moment is enough. When this place is enough. When this friend is enough. When these events and circumstances are acceptable. When you no longer crave something other than what stands before you. To know that all is well. That all is well in the big picture of life, in the big pool of life. That God is here, that love is here, guarding us, guiding us. We need to say, yes, I'm here. Thank you, God. All is well. And so it is. Namaste.